Okay, hi everyone. Willow Julia K, Intuitive Wise Woman and Empath, and Willow Wise Woman. Okay, any hooser. Okay, Chakra 101. So, you guys know the drill. I'm goof. I can never do anything on this thing right. It's always goofy. But I accidentally started this video before I was able to put the title on it. So I had to stop and start again. You know, whatever. Welcome to my crazy self. Okay. So, just changing some lighting here. I'm not sure if I like any of that. So, you know, I've got a little time right now. And so I'm going to try my best to go ahead and do this Chakra 101 class while I can. So, let's see. Yesterday I tried and then I didn't get like all of the sound for the first 20 minutes or so. Didn't happen. So anyway, I'm going to wait a few minutes. I want to make sure that you can hear my video. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys kind of hop on, take a few minutes, and let me know that one, you can see me, and two, you can hear me. So that way I don't waste 20 minutes of teaching this course to find out after I upload it that there is no sound. So I'm going to let a few of you hop on. If you could just comment or give me a thumbs up that yes, you can hear me, yes, you can see me. And I don't know why, but it won't let me share this. That makes me very upset. Okay. And I just don't know why it doesn't let me share. I try multiple times. It doesn't do it. No. Okay. Hello, Sally. Yeah. So I'm going to do this Chakra 101. And so you can hear me. Thumbs up. You can see me. Thumbs up. I hope so. So I've taught this class a few times. And so it's an intuitive class that I teach you in general, the basics. Okay, perfect. I teach you the basic chakra system as what is traditional. And this class is really more about giving you the permission to be more intuitive and flexible with the chakra system so that it resonates with you. Because your chakra system, in all seriousness, is your internal highway to your health, intuition, God, information, divine. It's your navigating system. So not everyone is going to have the same, you know, instruments that are going to work just the same. I mean, you know, had I tried to force myself, I really struggled with the traditional chakras and how that they, you know, how they worked and, you know, what colors. God damn it. Okay. It came back up. I don't know. If I have one more glitch, that's it. It's not time. But I struggled. I struggled with the traditional chakra system. So, for those of you that are local, and if you want the actual chakra class information, I have folders here for $10. You can come by and pick them up, and then at your convenience, you can watch this video and follow along with all that information. Okay. For those of you who are not local, you can try to find it on Google. What you're going to need for this class is coloring pencils, markers, or, you know, anything to color with, okay, because you want to use colors. A pen and paper, And I do highly recommend a pendulum. If you don't have one, I recommend that you get one. I use a pendulum to keep, to check in on my chakra system before I do any spiritual work. So the pendulum helps me to know where my chakra system is at, if there's an imbalance. Okay. Now, this being live is going to be a little bit more interesting, but I just want to start with, this is the traditional chakra system. There are 7 chakras, and there's chakra systems that come out and flow out beyond that, but I'm just focusing on the traditional 7 chakras, where they are, what's their purpose, and how do you connect with them. That's what this class is about, okay? Now, I'm going to look at the time because I really want to try to make sure that I do this in a timely manner. So, if you can see this is the traditional chakra system, and starting with the one on the bottom, that's your first chakra. It's called the root chakra. The root chakra is located in between your back, pelvic. So first of all, let me back up. First of all, chakra system is in the center of the body. It's a coil system, snake system, a vibrational system, okay? And it vibrates in the center of our body. And it starts way up above us, as far as our hands can personally reach, and as you go out and around, that's as far as that particular chakra core works, okay? It is in the center of our body, from the top crown of our head all the way down to the bottom part of our backbone, pelvic bone, growing area, okay? So that's where that first chakra sets at, is almost like when you set down and you know how your body just kind of, or like you're pushing down, that center piece is your root chakra, okay? So traditionally, your first chakra is in the root, okay? The color of that is typically red. The second chakra is your sacral, and that is right at your hairline all the way to the bottom, or right before your navel, okay? That's the sacral. That is orange, okay? Then between your chest and your navel is your solar plexus, usually yellow. And then in between your chest or breasts is your heart chakra, which is traditionally green. Throat chakra, right in the middle of your neck, traditionally blue. Your third eye, typically somewhere around here in general, in between the brows, okay? And that is purple. And then the crown is right where your little soft spot used to be when you were a baby. That's your crown chakra, and that is an indigo, which indigo is kind of like a violet, iridescent kind of color. And that is in the traditional chakras, okay? Now, traditionally, the chakras have not only elements and action to them, but they also have the colors which I described, okay? And you could, like I said, this video will stay up as long as it didn't screw up. And you can look at that for reference later, okay? So, and if you want, you can ask questions or take notes, okay? Now, there is a element that comes with the chakra system, and a color that comes with the chakra system. and an action. Okay, so we're all talking about traditional right now, and then I will go into the intuitive side that works for me. And this class is really about giving permission and flexibility to taking the traditional sense of the chakra system, and if it doesn't all resonate with you, giving you the permission to get creative so that it resonates with you, so that you can have that internal wisdom to lead your life by, because it is our internal navigation system. And so the better we understand it, the more information and understanding of ourselves, intuition and guidance of how our life should be is what's going to happen with that, the more that you work with it, okay? So the first chakra, which is that root, that red root, traditionally is I am, okay? And the element to it is earth. Your sacral chakra, which is the orange color, is I feel, and the element is water. Okay. The solar plexus, which is yellow in traditional, is I do in traditional, and element of fire. The heart chakra, which is traditionally green, is I love, and the element of air. The throat chakra, blue, traditionally, I speak, and the Akashic record. Now, for those of you that will watch this and don't know what the Akashic record is if you follow me, you will also hear me talk about the library, I'm accessing the library. This is also another word called as to the Akashic record. The Akashic record is the record of your lifetimes, plural, okay? And through the throat chakra, we can access multiple lifetimes and intuition and gatherings of information throughout multiple lifetimes that we have concurred throughout our lives. It's a way to access that Akashic record. And for some of us and some gifted people, they can also access the Akashic records of others. So it's a record of all time. And I access the Akashic record for myself and others. That's what I call the library. Now, little side note here, didn't know I was accessing the Akashic record for years. I just called it the library. I had no idea that was the Akashic record. So if you don't know what the Akashic record is, that's okay. I didn't either. So I was accessing it for years and had no idea I was. So the next chakra, which is your third eye, the color of blue, is I see, and the element of vision. Now, I'm going to clarify some of these elements once I'm done, okay? And the final chakra, the crown, which is that indigo color, iridescent violet blue, is I understand and receive, okay? Now, I realize that some of these elements aren't technically elements, right? So I want to clarify a few things. The spiritual elements are air, fire, water, earth, and circumference of spirit, or Christ consciousness, or Holy Ghost, or Holy Spirit, okay? Whatever you need to say so that you can understand. So, earth, fire, air, water, and God, spirit, soul, okay? 5 elements, okay? Now, when I talk about this, it's really important that you understand that traditionally, I've told you what those elements are, okay? But I'm going to talk to you more in depth about what those are intuitively for me. And even I want to kind of explain how that works, okay? So if you can imagine that cord coming down the center of your body, and it's a coil. It's a vibrational spin. Your chakra system is designed to work together almost as if it is a dolly system, right? Is that what it's called? Where you can pull information up to the consciousness or pull information down to earth or physical, right? So it's this pulley system that allows us to have this vibration. Now, most of it, I feel it that goes up and down like a pulley if I'm trying to gather information, especially from the Akashic record. So I'm kind of going down and I'm getting like my library activated, and I'm allowing myself to get to the Akashic record. And when I'm looking to feel sense for myself, make sure that I'm in alignment, it coils. It's circular, okay? It's rhythm. It's a rhythm. It's a sound, okay? So that your chakra system is your rhythm, your electrical system, and your vibrational system that is coiled. That answers all things through your own body of how it runs, intuition, all of those elements. And I had a word for it earlier, and now it's gone. So, it'll come, right? The chakra system is a coil electrical system with rhythmic vibration. In a nutshell. It runs in the center of your body, imagining it as far wide as your arms can go, backward, forward, up and down, all around. But the center of it, the core point of it, is in the middle of your body. Okay? Now, elements. Earth, air, fire, water, spirit. Traditionally, they talk about the crown chakra as I understand. The element is to receive. Do I want to start there, or do I want to move to... Yeah, okay. The root chakra is an earth, it is an element of earth, and the reason for that is the root chakra is kind of your grounding mechanism. It's the chakra that you kind of set yourself into. Okay, now this resonates with me as well, being that I firmly ground myself into the root chakra. Okay, the root chakra is designed to connect you to Mother Earth, connect you to yourself, okay, to root yourself into yourself, to know thyself, and to draw up wisdom, knowledge from the earth. Okay, so that's where that pulley system comes in. There's knowledge that comes from the underbelly of the earth. Okay, just like there's knowledge that comes from the skies in heaven, there's equal knowledge that comes from the earth, the rhythm of the earth. Okay, it's like a drum. Pa-pum, pa-pum, pa-pum. That is the rhythm you're connecting with in the circular coiled motion. It's a humming, a vibration. Let's give you an example, shall we? Okay. This is a vibration of what that coil should sound like. Okay. Had to turn that off, so hold on. Can you hear that? Circular vibration. It's an audio, but it's also a vibrational, right? So the audio is just so that you kind of get it, right? Yay! Okay, just got a message from a girlfriend, so there you go. So that getting into the root chakra, understanding the vibration and the circular motion and setting deep within the womb of Mother Earth, there is energetic work that can be done. First of all, we're setting into ourselves. That's the purpose for the root chakra. Secondly, we're pulling up the wisdom of Earth, the wisdom of Gaia, the wisdom of Mother. We're pulling her up to us, okay? So I find that sometimes that gets lost with chakra work. But there is so much wisdom and truth and information we can get from the bottom, right? From the chakra, from the first chakra, the root chakra, okay? As well as we are able to get just as much from the crown chakra, which is the heavenly, right? You know, spiritual, heaven, God, right? But you can get it from the root too, okay? Second chakra in traditional is the sacral. The I feel and water is the element. I also resonate with this because it is the emotional wells of our body. I want to make sure before I gotta make a note so I don't forget. Effects. Okay. I don't want to forget to go back and do this. So I agree with the water and the emotional wells because the water is our emotional system. So that sacral chakra is between the hairline of our body and our navel. Okay, and within that area is our reproductive organs, our sexual organs, and our emotions. I get the gut feeling. Ooh, I get the gut feeling. It's the emotional space, right? Gut feeling, intuition. That's where intuition lies as well, all right? So intuition lies in multiple places within our chakra systems, although they don't talk about it. That's where my intuition and my interpretation goes a little farther, a little deeper, okay? So it's where intuition lies as well, and emotion lies. It's where our female and male reproductive and sexual organs lie, okay? So before I go any further, I want to talk about the two chakras, the first and the second, and what those chakras can do if not balanced. So we talked about what they're for. Root chakra is earth, grounding, getting into ourselves, and how we can use it to pull up information of wisdom, right? If that root chakra is not balanced, if that root chakra is out of balance, you are going to have a really hard time getting firmly rooted in yourself. You're going to feel very dizzy, disoriented, flighty. You're going to trip and all those things, right? You're going to have, you're going to trip, you're going to fall. It can also come into where like you're heavy-footed, or you really have a hard time in your lower body, right? Ankles, feet, knees, right? You're going to have ailments in those areas, okay? It's also an intuitive signal to incapable of moving forward, right? So that is where the negative side or imbalanced side comes in. What does the sacral chakra look like if it's not balanced? which is in that navel, underneath the navel area, in the sexual organ and emotional organ. It can look like infertility, endometriosis, cramps, cysts, ovary problems, impotency, not being able to produce, male or female, infertility problems, and if it's overactive, it can look like sex addiction. It can look like, if it's underactive, no drive, no sex drive. If it's overactive, then you're going out of your mind and a sex addict. And this is the imbalance that it shows up as it manifests in the body, okay? That's why it's so important to understand your chakra system, because your chakra system is your health care. And if you don't understand that your chakra system is imbalanced, you won't know how to balance yourself so that we can heal in a natural state, when and if possible. Because our chakras will tell us what's wrong and how and what we can do to balance those things, okay? So if you're imbalanced in the sacral, you have some emotional work to do. If you're imbalanced in the root chakra, you have some setting into yourself to do. Coming into you, getting to know yourself. That's the work you have, okay? Your third chakra in the traditional is the solar plexus. It says that I do, and the element is fire. I do not agree with the I do, okay? It does not resonate with me, and either does the root chakra of I am. So we'll talk about how I interpret those after we go through this, and then that'll be the course, okay? But traditionally, it is I do, solar plexus in between the rib cage and right above the navel, or right at the navel area. That whole section is your solar plexus, and traditionally it is I do and the element of fire. Now I agree with fire because it is your life force. In my opinion, in my experience, the solar plexus is the life force, God connection, Christ consciousness, let your light shine, that burst, that fire in the belly, okay? Those are all terms that I resonate with the solar plexus, okay? It's your life force. This is one of the main chakras, one of the few chakras, in my opinion, that is damn near impossible to be imbalanced. It is God force. It's life. It's the connection at the umbilical cord. It's the moment of conception, okay? It's the moment of creation, okay? It's the moment, okay, of spark. So it is almost impossible for that to be out of balance. I believe that that is our God code. It's where our whole life force generates. That's how it starts. It takes an enormous amount of trauma for that life force to be dimmed or slowed or closed, okay? Now, I'm not suggesting that no one has that, but I'm saying that I believe we are more likely than not, our life force, our solar plexus, always stay open. If you come into contact with those whose life force is dimming or closed, these are people who have multiple issues. They're disconnected. They've disconnected from God. They've disconnected from society. They've disconnected from truth of their own self. Okay? typically gray. Lost, have forgetfulness, limited communication. They're very stuck in the ego, so they just repeat. It's not pretty, but it doesn't happen. There's not a lot of people that, you know, their life force is starting to snuff out. Okay. Okay. The fourth chakra is the heart chakra, I love, and air. Now, I agree with I love and air, but I want to talk about, for me, it is most important for me is I accept, I move, and I dance. Dance is about the spirit, right? Air element to me is about the spirit of us. It's flowing, it's air, it moves, it is mutable, right? That's the same way the vibration of the heart needs to run, okay? It needs to be mutable, it needs to move and dance and grow and pull and, you know, come back in and come back out. It's that expansion, like air. Air can, you know, expands you. So that's where that element, I want you to understand what that element should feel like to you. If it's imbalanced, did we go through that? Yes, and yes. So what does the imbalance of a heart chakra? Do I have it here? Let me look. We did the fertility, yep. Sacral. Here we go. Sorry, I have notes. The heart chakra. If your heart chakra is closed, it's because you live in denial of yourself. The heart chakra closed or very, very slowed down is we live in denial of what our heart wants, the freedom and openness of what we desire. To move and accept ourselves and others. If that is not in balance, then we live in denial. It looks like denial, a life that just makes no sense. You will have chest pain, indigestion, heartburn. That's how it will manifest physically for you, okay? A balanced heart chakra looks like divine truth, your truth, and wholeness, okay? That's what it looks like. Wholeness of heart, wholeness of your truth, divine truth, and openness to accept and move and dance, okay? The throat chakra. Throat chakra is I speak. It also is the Akashic record. Now, the Akashic record is not an element, right? But, is it? It's the element of intuition, which is spirit. Okay? So, it really is an element of spirit. It just forms itself through the Akashic record. I speak. Okay? Now, the throat chakra is about being able to speak your truth. Speak universal truth, i.e. Akashic record. Speak the truth. Again, universal truth. Okay, the truth is not necessarily the Akashic record, okay? So, but universal truth is the Akashic record, and then your truth. And they can all be within a balance of each other, even if they might be slightly different, okay? The throat chakra not being in alignment is, Sorry, I gotta make a note. Is not being able to speak, express. It's very constricting. Your physical ailments will be tonsils, tonsillitis, adenoids, bronchitis, nasal issues. All of those things will be affected if your throat chakra is not balanced, okay? And your crown, your third eye is eye see and vision. Again, vision is vision a element. Yes. Vision for me, psychic vision, is spirit again, right? It's that intuition, okay? Your third eye, if it is not open or if it's closed or whatever, you just don't have any intuition, right? You just, it's, you stay very analytical, very ego-driven, and logical, okay? That's what it looks like. You're just a very logical person. In my opinion, just my opinion, if your third eye is closed or slow, you lack joy. Okay? That's just my opinion. What resonates, keep. What doesn't, get rid of. Okay? That's what this is about. This is about giving permission and freedom. And so when the third eye is closed or damaged, I feel like there's a lack of joy in one's life, because part of our intuition is being able to dream, being able to daydream, being able to dream about something that we can't see, feel, or taste, right? Our imagination. So we lack joy if our third eye is closed. Okay, so it's very important. I mean, all the artists and creative musicians and all that, their third eye is wide open, because you can't get that without it. Okay, so it's creativity, it's joy as well. All right. The last chakra is the crown chakra. Traditionally, it says I understand. The element is receive. I do not agree with I understand with the crown chakra. For me, the crown chakra is I receive, not I understand. I receive my guidance. I receive my information. I receive divine wisdom. Okay? The understanding for me comes in as it moves down into my third eye, which shows me the creativeness and messages, and then farther moves down into my throat chakra, and boom, I understand, so I speak it. Okay? So that's how it works for me. Again, this is just about giving you options and freedom to kind of feel your way through your chakra system, because you don't have to go by the book. Sometimes by the book doesn't resonate. It didn't for me. Mine's all ass backwards. I'm telling you right now, before we even get to it, you can tell mine's all ass backwards. And that's just who I am. If you know me personally, you'll be like, well, it's no surprise. It's no surprise that my shit's ass backwards. Okay? So, oh, that made it kind of goofy on my eyeglasses. Okay, so, and then the element is receiving, which I do agree with. And receiving is also, again, it's a spirit. It's the spirit. To receive is to accept things that we cannot feel, taste, or, tangibly have. It's faith. Receiving is faith. Receiving is spirit. It's that fifth, element. So sometimes it says element, but I think it's within interpretation that you understand that receiving is an element of spirit. Okay? Vision is an element of spirit. Akashic record is element of spirit, because it's through that we're able to access those things. Okay? Now, for me, I've really kind of shown you like where I'm at versus traditional and otherwise, right? and what that looks like. But for me, my chakra system, the traditional goes from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That does not make sense to me. Okay. For me, I go top to bottom. So for me, I start at the crown and I work myself down. So the crown chakra is my first chakra. For me, that's how I start balancing my chakras, from the crown. The color for me is white and golden. My third eye is blue, like a cobalt blue. My throat is green. My heart is pink. My solar plexus is in my mind's eye is the color of the sun, because it really truly is your life force. My sacral is a ocean blue, for those emotional wells that need to ebb and flow and crash and back forth, as we need that balance of pushing in and out. Okay. And my root chakra is almost a reddish brown. So it's similar to the red, but it's more of an earthy, brownish red for my root. Okay. The way that I balance my chakras is through an intention and prayer that I designed. I do this every single day, and I do it every time I do work, any kind of spiritual work. And that is a chakra balancing prayer that I designed myself. And if you're here locally and you want this paperwork, so that way you can watch this video and then at home have the paperwork to do your own, what I want you to do is you can use, hold on, the blank. This is the blank chakra system. Okay. This is colored in to the traditional chart. This is the words for what they mean, right? I am, I feel, I do, I love, I speak, I see, I understand, right? Oh, I guess that would probably be better to look at. All right, and then this is the element of those same chakras: earth, water, fire, air, Akashic record, vision, and receiving all air, or all spirit rather. I'm sorry, pardon me, all spirit. Okay, and then this is where you can get creative and decide what is your colors. This is my colors. These are my intuitive colors of the chakra system. These are the traditional. So maybe you'll go traditional, maybe you'll take mine, or maybe you'll create your own. That's where the colored pencils and pens and markers come into place, okay, with this workshop. Okay? And maybe you'll stay with the traditional, you know, from the root up is the way that you see your 7 chakras. For me, it's from the crown down. It makes more sense. I open myself up. That space that would be your like baby, you know, soft spot when you were a baby, it opens up, and it actually is like a huge beam of white golden light that infuses down me through the coiled chakras. And that is, I receive message, I receive guidance, I receive intuition. And then my third eye, which is more in the center of my forehead, that took a minute, is like a cobalt blue. And that really kind of pushes out. And it's almost like a lotus. or a flower opening, okay? And then the throat chakra is just really large and big, and it's, for me, it's green, it's earthy, it's truth, it's speaking truth for myself. It's being able to be, I wrote it down. Give me a minute. I want to find this, because when I'm doing this work, as you guys know, I can't get my brain to work right because I'm working the spirit brain. So I got to take notes, or I lose my train of thought, because I can't think, right? So where am I at? Throat. Thank you. So the throat is about speaking my truth, accessing the Akashic record. It's also the recorded space of mystery, the mysteries of the truth, okay? The mystery of time, which is the Akashic record. It's your past life access. The throat chakra for me is green. It's very, I just feel like it's very earthy to me. My truth feels very green. I don't know why. I just know that that's what it is, okay? My heart chakra is pink. Pink really resonates with me, so pink is my color. I accept, I move, I dance, and it's air. The solar plexus is like sunshine. That's that life force. My sacral, I feel, that's the color of the ocean. And how does that look? So I told you that the pillar comes down, and once I grab that information, the third eye is activated like a lotus or a flower opening. It goes down into my throat chakra, which releases and relaxes the Akashic record. And I'm able to speak the truth, my truth, and universal truth coincidingly. And that activates that Dolly system, right? Coming up and down, grabbing the information, internalizing it, and speaking it, and grabbing it from every location. And then there's that coil. I use that coil vibration to make sure I'm centered, but I use like that Dolly system to access. I hope that makes sense. Once I get to that throat chakra and then I go into the heart, I open myself up for freedom and air and dancing and just expansion and accepting. Into the solar plexus of the life force, the fire in the belly, life, conception, God consciousness. Then deep into the emotional wells, the ebbing and flowing of the ocean, connecting with my organs, my female organs, and how I feel, asking to have that balanced, and having the acceptance and the awareness that the tides go in and they go out. They go in and they go out. So this too shall pass, right? Any emotional upheavals will pass. And then the root being firmly rooted within Mother Earth, within her womb, and pulling up her wisdom from the earth. The vibration, the drum, pa-bum, pa-bum, pa-bum. She has wisdom, okay? She has truth. She had hidden wisdom within those roots in the earth. So it's a both. You're getting it from the consciousness of Christ and the vibration of Mother Earth. So you got a pa-boom, pa-boom, and a voom, a voom, a boom, pa-boom, a voom, a voom. Okay? I don't know how else to describe it, but it's a rhythm. It's a rhythm, an electrical system that when it's running on all cylinders the correct way, it will keep you healthy and it will guide you through your life. Okay? I hope that makes sense. All right. And that is, leads you to the prayer. this chakra balancing prayer is intended for you, and you can use it. I use it top to bottom. You can use it bottom to top. I don't care. You can take from this and then just kind of create your own, but this kind of gives you a template to work from. But this is what I do every single day, and then every time I do spiritual work. And so I ask Divine God, Goddess, or Universe to open up my crown chakra like it's opening the center of my skull, so that I may receive divine wisdom and guidance. Then I ask that I have the crystal vision and openness of my third eye. And I ask that my heart is opened with grace and clarity. Oh wait, I reversed that. Sorry. My third eye, that I have crystal vision. That I have grace and clarity when I speak my truth. That my heart is open to receive. That my life force is shining brightly. My emotional wells are balanced. And that I'm deeply rooted within her earth and womb. And when I do that prayer and that balancing prayer, it aligns my coiled vibration. Okay? So I hope that that makes sense. If you have any questions, you know, I can always come back after the video is uploaded and answer as you guys have the opportunity to look at this video, take the course, or make your notes. And you can always ask the questions, and then I will try to respond to those when that happens. But that is a very basic 101 introduction to the chakra system. It kind of helps you understand what they are, where they are, what they look like, what their purpose is for, and what you can do with them to how you can align them. Now, finally, I did forget, I'm sorry. Finally, the final part of that is the pendulum, which I forgot to mention. Now, I do recommend that you get a pendulum. If you're local, you can go to Cleo's Aroma Apothecary. She carries some, pretty reasonable as well. And you can always tell her that Willow sent you, okay? Just a little shout out, okay? Because I get all my pendulums from her. So I use a pendulum. It tells me if my chakra systems are open, okay? And I keep it real simple. It circles right if I'm open, left if I'm imbalanced, and it stops if I'm closed. And I really don't use my pendulum for anything else but to make sure that I am centered and ready to work spiritually. So that's what I use it for. You can use it for other things, but that's how I use it. Okay, so then I just take it to the top of my chakra. Okay, I'm open. My third eye, and it should stay right around the same circumference if I'm imbalanced, and then also because I'm working right now. So it's going to be very, very wide because I have to stay wide open to do this work. And I know maybe I'm going to turn this down a little bit. So now I've got to let it go again. So I'm at the heart chakra. There we go. Life force. I don't know if you can see that. I can't really tell. And that's how I check my chakras. Okay. Now I do want to show you. I'm just gonna move. I closed it. Now I'm trying to reverse it through the heart chakra. And now neutralize. Woo! And open. And open. There we go. And so you can learn how to open, close, and know what it feels like to be not in balance. Okay? And that might be another class. That's like a 102, how to really like learn how to open, close, and practice the chakra system like that. But I can literally shut my chakra down. I can reverse the chakra and then start it back up again. And that's how what you've seen with the pendulum is me using the energy core to do that. Okay. So when I work, as you've seen, when I work, my pendulum is really wide open. Okay. Usually when I'm not working spiritually, it's in a nice little open circle, but it's not wide open because I need to keep myself balanced, and I can't be wide open all the time because then I take all that home. So, yeah, I think I'm just right around an hour now. So that's to the good. I like to keep my classes about an hour long. God, I hope I'm still live because I'm going to be so upset if shit doesn't work because it's such a lot. It's such a lot. I mean, it's a lot of energy work for me to even do these courses because I also, you know, I use the Akashic record. I use the chakra system to do my work. So, you know, it's a lot of work. So, I'm going to get off of here. That's the close of the class for Chakra Class 101. There is other additions to that that kind of lead more into how to open and close and expand our chakra systems. But this is just trying to give you the basics. So for anyone watching this at a later time, please comment, like, respond, ask questions. I would really appreciate your feedback on how this class worked via Facebook. Did you like it? Was it not so great? You know, is that something that you would like more of? Was it helpful? Was it not helpful? Was it confusing? Did I make sense? All of those things. So feedback is greatly appreciated. Okay. All right, guys. So let's see. Let's hope that this video actually took this time. And in the meantime, blessed be.